Hello there. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Glad you made it. Social production. We're doing it on June the 7th, 2024. Thank you for joining me. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. If you'd like to get the full-length videos, check out patreon.com/RobSadger. If you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show, Wagwan. Wagwan, everybody. Here in Canada, down south in the United States, as per usual, further down south. I'm talking South America, baby. But let's not forget Mexico right in between there. Just buffering. Let's go over there, South Africa, over there, North Africa, Mid-Africa, Asia, Europe, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, as per usual, New Zealand, Australia, the Koreas, Wagwan, Philippines. Hello, Caribbean Island, Jamaica. Wherever you're tuning in from, outer space, on the dark side of the moon now, in a little hole, just jerking and twerking for each other, just because it's about sustenance. It's about creating life. Life matters. What's going on, everybody? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me. Keeping it loose as a goose, of course, as per usual. Nothing in particular. We're just going to talk about everything and nothing. See where it gets us going. But let's get a sip of this first. Let's get caffeinated, shall we? If you're not caffeinated, I urge you to get caffeinated right now. I don't care if you get jittery. I don't care if your heart rate goes up. 75 cups of coffee is how much you need. That's how much you need. Somebody read an article about that. 75 cups of coffee. Let's go. We should just be, at this point, we should just be doing we should just go direct to the source. I wanna attach a little tube to a bean, just a raw coffee bean, and then attach that to a little drip, just get it dripped into the system. I don't know, man. I don't know, ladies and gents, boys and girls. But you could also cut back. Do whatever you like. I don't know. I have about 5-6 cups, I think, a day. It's nice. I likes it. That's the way we keep it rolling, baby. That's the way we keep it going. Let's just jump right into it. Wherever you are, I hope that, first of all, get up. I know you're like, how do I get up? I just had a refrigerator fall 20 floors right on top of me. The good thing is that refrigerators have doors now. So we do live in the future. Open the door, get up. I know if refrigerator fell on you, who cares? Open up the door. Thank your lucky stars. Something that with a door fell on you. Imagine just a filled cube that fell on you from above. Wouldn't that suck if it didn't have a door? You're like, I wish a refrigerator fell on me, but guess what? You already got a refrigerator. What are we even talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. Let's get right into it. Reverse porn, everybody. Reverse porn. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see, because I think like traditionally the porn is like, it starts off with somebody either already in the nude or they're dressed. And then eventually in a few minutes you get to the nudity. But I want reverse porn, and you're like, what do you mean? Like naked people getting dressed? That could be part of it, but not entirely. Of course not. Part of porn, of course, consists of foreplay. Part of it is a little bit of dirty talk. Some of it is just right to business. Let's get down to business. This badge is about to, give birth, metaphorically speaking, not like just like in terms of like performance. This badge is about to give birth to a whole new, But imagine, but that's the thing. Once it gets going, once the cap comes in, once the badge is involved, and then liquids start forming, a little bit slippery when wet. That's what they say. Things are it's squirt fest all over the place. A little bit of piss, a little bit of squirt, a little bit of jizz, a little bit of just all sorts of smells. What's going on? That's regular porn. That's what it is. But what about reverse porn? What if we came and changed the game? What if we switched it around? What if we flipped it on its head and turned it inside out? Think about that for a second. What happens during a porn? A little bit of smooch fest, a little bit of a titty rub, a little bit of let me tickle your elbow. Let me suck on your, let me nibble on that earlobe. Let me stick my tongue in your eye. Let me stick my tongue so far down your eye you feel it coming out your throat. Man, that's a long tongue, but it's nice, and that's how it typically goes until friction happens between the genitalia, back and forth, pumping and humping and sucking and fucking, pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and sucking and fucking and sucking and fucking and pumping and pumping, pump, suck, pump, pumping, pumping, and you get it, pumping. all the way downtown until somebody comes, until the liquids, until human juice comes out, until you basically squeeze yourself, until you squeeze yourself like a little lemon, until you squeeze you and your partner basically squeezed each other like fruits. You're juicing fruits, or you're fruit juicing, whichever. Like you're squeezing a little orange. Yeah, you get a little bit of orange juice. That's essentially what that is. That's human juice essentially. If you want human juice, that's how you get it. But that's just regular porn. That's just a regular sex. But what about reverse sex? Up until now, we've had everybody come in dressed, maybe not dressed, take it off. Again, a little bit of action, a little bit of pre-action, a little bit of the prelims before we get to the main event. And then fluids start spouting out. There's no stop. Once it starts coming, there's no end to these fluids. Some more than others, of course, and some less, and there's no judgment as how much you come, how much you jizz, or how much you ejaculate, or how much you female ejaculate. Some, as long as it's wet, as long as wetness is all that we're seeking, it's not quantity, it's quality, although sometimes quantity does wonders too, because you're amazed as to how did you even, where does that even come? How do you carry that all day, every day with you? Wow, good for you, impressive. What else do you carry with you? It's like, if you got room for that, what else you got room for? You know what I mean? In terms of paying extra for the extra luggage while we're traveling, why don't we just stuff it inside you if you had all that room? I'm just saying. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, that we're not charging by the pound. We're not charging by the mile here. We're not charging at all. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all I'm saying is, once the fluids come out, that's when you get classic sex, classic porn. But what about we had reverse porn? I suggest we could play around with this. My main concept that I'm trying to introduce here, my main aim here is to, let me get a sip of this before we get into the aim. My main objective is to get us trained so that we could get the liquids that we've now spouted out back into our own bodies. Reverse porn. I want reverse jizz. I want reverse female ejac. It's good that you can put it out. Everybody could put it out. Almost everybody could put it out. Everybody to a certain degree could put out a different amount of liquids out, but could you put it back in? Hence, introducing the new game-changing reverse porn, RP. That's right, the new porn, reverse porn. I say everything, most of it should be about, it should just be by happenstance. It shouldn't even be a porn anymore because it's like reverse, but it should just be following regular people doing their everyday tasks, getting up, getting ready, putting on makeup, shaving, removing the makeup, putting back the hair. Whatever you shaved off, you put it back on. You lather some, foam, and then you put it back on. I don't know how people shave. You shave from one side, remove all of it to the other side, just to, for balance. Where you're like, that's asymmetrical, fuck you. So what? Always about the whatever. As long as you're doing it every day and then switching it so that, if there's hair on one side on Monday, Tuesday's got to be the other side. So I don't know what you're doing in the bedroom or the bathroom, but that's beside the point. What are we even talking about? As per usual, no clue. Going about life, having fun, that's what we're doing around here. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that you follow people throughout their regular days. Now they're in the car, now they get to the office, sit in the cubicle, fax out a couple of faxes. I don't even know if people are still doing that. Let's maintain certain traditions. Faxing, let's keep that. I do like a fax machine. Photocopiers, also keep it. I do hear that everything is on the cloud. I would like to see some actual clouds though. I don't want it to just be this like, where is it? I want actual clouds from now on. If you're uploading everything via the tech and the wires, and I want you to get an actual cloud. You're like, how do I get clouds? There's plenty in the sky. I don't know why we're always, where can you not find cloud? Find me a sky without a cloud, and I'll show you a man that can't do backflips while he's, riding a pogo stick or something. All I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, the point is that it's Friday. That's what the fucking point is around here. I hope you're having fun. The point is that go throughout their day. Now it's evening time. Watch them commute back. Now this has been like, you condense it, of course. Now it's like 45 minutes of a person's daily life. Now they're commuting back, stuck in traffic, maybe lighting up a cigarette. Who knows? Maybe looking at birds, wondering why they got to be so free. Doesn't matter, you'll get home eventually. You get home. You come in, you open the door. Honey, I'm home. Two bitches pop up. Oh, good afternoon, good evening, sweetheart. Because there's two of them. That's why it echoes. By accident, throughout dinner, you start mingling, you start talking, you get to the point where, is tonight going to be, what day is today? Oh, it's Wednesday. Oh, guess what? It's Naughty Wednesday. It's Naked Wednesday. And then everybody starts getting kinky. Hell yeah. And all of a sudden, all the erogenous zones are being rubbed and tugged. Back of the eyelids, classic. The scalp, let's go. Inside your belly button, gently, not too hard though. Right between your toes, just all the erogenous zones, the classic ones, of course. Right, blowing in someone's nostrils, just turning them on through blowing air into their nostrils, because everybody loves that. The ladies love that. Gentlemen are on the fence, but I'm telling you, a little bit of light up the nose drive you crazy. I'll tell you, you can bank on that. Try it out. Opening up an asshole and blowing in it. Blowing the asshole. That's right. Clean it with air. A lot of people are like, I gotta get in there, clean it with a douche. You don't gotta be. You could just blow in it. When was the last time a little bit of dirt hurt anyone? That's what I say. Bring back a little bit of dirt. You get down and dirty, you humping, you fucking, you sucking. Titties are rubbing, 4 tits, 1 cack. Rubbing and tugging. And eventually, all 3 of you squirt, jizz. It's squirt jizz fest. It's a jizz festival. It's a gistival. We should have that. We should have a gistival. We'll get to that later though. The point is, now I want you to train your body, because again, it's been great that you can spew out this liquid out of your body. I want you now to try to suck it back in. Suck it back, put it back inside your body. Or I don't know if we could, initially maybe we could resort to funnels. Funnels specifically made for you to get your jizz back in your nuts. Ladies, female ejac. You did it, it's great. Hella turn-ons, yes. Top 10, turn on. Right there, rated number 1. Globally speaking, of course. And that's what the consensus says. That's what the stats say. Globally number 1. But now it's nice that you scored it, but now let's suck it back in. Now that's impressive. And that'll wrap it up as reverse. And you're like, I can't. Again, start with a funnel. Scoop the liquid up using a spoon or a syringe and then put it back inside your body. Because again, think of the people who can't squirt or jizz, do it for them. Think about the times that we're all under some sort of, it's for the average person speaking, of course, it's not easy. It's not like you could just hand out jizz and female vag juice or clam juice, as they call it on the streets by the harbor front or back. All I'm saying is, you want to work your way up, so eventually you get rid of the syringe, you get rid of the spoon, you get rid of the funnel, and eventually you could just I'm sorry, I just spilt a little bit of jizz on the floor, and you put your cock to the floor like a little vacuum and start sucking, and it's all from the diaphragm, I think. All from the do whatever you did to come, but in reverse. Same noises, but in reverse. So reverse of that, whatever that, no, just same thing, just curl your toes the other way. I think that's how you start to suck it. Curl your toes tend to curl towards you. I've never seen anybody curl out. That's a sight for the eyes. Once you get them going, they'll have their toes curled out. Get your toes curled out. Fingertips also curl. Fingers, how come hands never curl up? I guess some 8 billion people, I'm sure somebody's hands curl up while they're coming. That's a sight for the eyes. But curl everything out, all right? Try to use less gravity if you can. Balance on your hips. Use your center of gravity. Lower yourself, really. And and just, clench, use your, do all the exercises of the ladies, same thing, except minus the cock. All right, stick your vag on the floor wherever you spilt, like a little suction, like a little vacuum, essentially. You're a human vacuum now, essentially, both of you, or the three of you, or the four of you, however many of you are in there. I don't know what you're doing. I like it. Keep going. But now clean up. But now put your vag on and slurp, reverse. And I think that'll actually give you I think it's actually beneficial in terms of exercise as well, core exercise. A lot of people are like, oh, by the time I get home from a day's work, I'm just too spent to do exercise. Incorporate the exercise into the after sex, or have reverse porn essentially, or reverse sex essentially. I'm gonna go with reverse porn. Let's see it on the big screen first, then we'll see how the public takes it, and if they wanna, these things start underground, next thing, flourishes, mainstream. So that's what I'm saying. We'll start niche porn, then we'll, put it out for the public so that people know that you could actually suck it up, put it back, and you're like, how do I, but I'm building my guys downstairs. They're aware that I just put out the jizz, the little fellows that live inside my nuts, that every time I'm about to come, they get ready. They're, shoveling coal into the furnace, getting my nuts ready to eject. They're going to be out of work if I put the jizz back in. No, they're not. It's just more jizz. They'll be happy to see the guys come back. I'm telling you. They were talking millions of them. I know. They'll be extra happy. Millions of, we thought we lost you. No, not this time. See anything good out there? Not really. All I'm saying, same thing with the ladies. Who can use a little bit of extra hydration these days? Am I right? Everybody's stressed out about this, that, and the other. Forget the payment. Suck it up. Just reverse porn. It's really good, actually. It's really good. Little by little, of course, as we advance, I want the whole concept to become reverse. Go through the person's day in reverse. Everybody's driving backwards in reverse. You sleep during the day, you work in the evening, reverse. You enter your bedroom, everything's upside down, reverse. How do I get some sleep? You can't, because you're upside down. It's nice though, for aesthetics at least. Everything's sideways and upside down. How do I get in this bed? You can't, unless you're using a harness. I suggest you get yourself some harness. I suggest you learn to, piggyback on each other and, get on each other's shoulders and climb up and latch yourself onto the bed, because it's upside down now. But guess what? For the 69, it'll still be 69. You can't reverse the 69. And that's one of nature's greatest mathematical equations, that whichever way you write it, it's still 69. Turn it inside out, upside, it'll always be 69. How does nature do that, man? What's up with math and nature and stuff? Man, that is 8.2 wonders of the world, 69. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do not give up initially. I know it may sound hard to do reverse porn, but you can do it. So every little drop, I want it back inside your urethra, your whatever mechanism you use to get it out, you get it back in. All right, it's time to save up. That's what time it is. It's time for everybody to just, tighten up the belts. And you're like, this belt doesn't get any tighter. Keep it tight nonetheless. Suck it up with suck. That's little by little, like that. Suck up the jizz that you just put on the floor. So you're not wasting. You're not just like, I'm gonna put jizz out like it's 2018. It's not 2018, Jack. It's not 2018, motherfuckers. Female ejac, suck it up. If you're like, I can't go straight to ejac, reverse, suck it up with my peen, and I've been doing the funnel, I've been using a spoon and a syringe for 7 months now. Are there any other methods? Your mouth, orally speaking. I didn't want to give that option because it sounds like a cop-out to me, to be honest with you. But ingestion is ingestion at the end of the day. You got to do what you got to do. I don't want to put anybody down, but it's like basically doing female push-ups. No disrespect to female push-ups. If that's all you could do, I'm not saying all female push-ups are female push-ups. Hell of a ton of ladies out there doing reg push-ups. I'm talking about the guys that sometimes have to resort to the female push-ups as well. And initially, I get it. I started myself doing female push-ups when I just started working out way back in the day. as a young man, as a young lad. But nonetheless, if you can't, you can't. Eventually, you'll build up enough strength to do reverse pouring properly the way nature intended it to be. But if you must start using your mouth, then so be it. No judgment here. Okay, a little judgment here, but no judgment here, if you know what I mean. We feel each other. It's good. No judgment. A little bit of judgment, low key. You know what I mean? Not good enough to use your cock to suck it up. My vag can't do it. Oh, well, who put it out then? Who put it out? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm proposing that, it's nice that everybody farts. I love a good fart. You love a good fart. Different farts, different sounds. It's fantastic. So many forms to it too. So many different reactions to it too. It depends who does it. Your own, you're actually kind of used to, so no one really cares, especially if you're by yourself. You're tooting, you're walking, no one cares. Get a whiff of this, the best stuff in town. You'll say that to yourself. Then you whiff somebody else's and you're like, oh, no thanks, I'm good. All I'm saying is there's so many different kinds. There's funny farts. There's scary farts that somebody unexpected that's just like had something mysterious, a little bit of street meat, a little bit of mystery meat, whatever you call it, they've had it. They're on that vegan diet. They're just pouring down that green juice and their farts smell like, what is that? Somehow it's worse. But all I'm saying is different farts, different reactions. Somebody hot farts, you're like, yes, okay, all right. Hell yeah. Somebody queefing too. Somebody hot queefs, yes. Somebody not so, you're like, all right, okay, I respect it, but at a distance. What are you even talking about? Farts. I'm just concerned that it's been the same sort of, even though it's all different and there's different reactions, there's different bodies doing different, more or less it is the same. It's a whistling sound or a tooting sound or a little bit of a honking sound or a little bit of ripping sound. Let one rip right there. It's just classic farts and everybody loves them or they're indifferent to it. I don't know. Regardless, all I'm saying is that the sound and noise that the fart makes has been relatively the same since the dawn of man. And it's a long time, millions of years since, or so, or give or take a few mil, who knows at this point, but it's relatively remained the same. And I'm just thinking, if we could whistle potentially with our farts, with our assholes, is it not fair to say that you could get your asshole to train to say a word or two? I mean, I'm amazed that we're living in 2024 and the best that our assholes can come up with is just a little bit of a, it's fantastic, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan, but all I'm saying is we could probably train ourselves to say a word or a phrase. Things like, instead of you farting and a classic fart noise coming out, rip one out and it says, I don't know about that, coming out of your asshole. Or maybe that's something to think about. Just a small little phrase. I don't know how we feel about that. Ooh, what's that? Stuff like this, just a little simple, but at least it's a start. At least it's a start. Get it to, I'm sure if we work hard enough to, because then you basically have two mouths. Bigger tasks, longer conversations where you need to pay attention and be right in the zone. You can have it with your mouth. Little if you gotta say something quickly, use your asshole. You can say it quickly. It's a little short sentence. Be right there. Rip one up. Be right there. Right there. Right there. It should be. It's all about air and it's all about contraction and expansion and it's all about using the muscles and the diaphragm, I think. So we're on to something good here. Please let me know, write a comment if you've ever farted and you've said, because you see that within the animal kingdom. Sometimes you'll see people recording videos of their dogs and it's barking and it's like, I love you. And it's like, oh, the dog just said I love you. Did it? If we can say the dog said I love you, I'm pretty sure we can work on our assholes saying a couple of sentences too. Those are dogs. Love them, but they're no assholes. So think about it. The advantage, the balls are literally in our this court is filled with so many balls. I feel a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of balls that are in this court, but nonetheless, we are going to take a badminton racket, a tennis racket, a ping pong racket, and just right there at the balls. We're gonna put it in our mouths and just back and forth. We're gonna teabag these balls that are in the court just to show the balls what we're made of. When life gives you, that's what it is, baby. So again, if a dog could say a couple of words, I'm pretty sure we can. You've seen the parrots out there. You've seen the parrots, you know, the family parrot that outlives everybody and now escapes because everybody's dead in the house because they got really old, and eventually the last family member also fell, and like, you know, they're done. Now the parrot escaped and it's on the roof. Now firefighters have to go rescue the parrot, and the parrot's like, fuck you. That's like, I'm trying to rescue you here. But if a parrot could say that, I'm pretty sure we can work on the assholes saying a word or a phrase so that next time you toot and fruit, you actually say something worthwhile. You actually do something. You actually, you know, it's not just a sound. Why waste a good, you know, it's just releasing of energy. So I'm just, if you can speak with your asshole or your vag, because queefing is, you know, again, but that's like half the population. Farting everybody can do. So talking with your asshole, I'm saying everybody can do that. It's something to strive for. Queefing, if you could both speak with your asshole and your vag, because now you're working, you know, females have that advantage, of course. But we're not here to say, you know, as, you know, I'll say this. If I could say a couple of sentences or a word with my, I will be all that. That's a life worth living for. Dying, living for. That sounds a lot. That's a life worth living for. Living for. Yeah, I'm gonna go with living for. Dying for. It sounds like we gotta get living for. That's a life worth living for. There you go. And if you could speak with your asshole, or you're queefing out words and sentences like a toddler, put it on the web, or write in our comment section, record it, you know, attach it. I don't know how these things work. Do it, contribute, get the algorithm going. Talk to the algorithm with your vag is all I'm trying to say. Tickle it with your anus, would ya? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get a sip of this bad boy right here for a second if we can. But of course, farts are, you know, nature's little miracles. Dad and childbirth, those two. But we're not here to debate which one's bigger in terms of miracles. A miracle is a miracle, it doesn't matter. But if you had to pick one, if you had to just for the rest of your life, if you had to pick a type of fart, that'll be your fart. That's your signature fart. You will not be able to deviate, stick within your lane once you've picked it. And that's the kind of fart I think you get to a certain point in life. After 25, I suggest we all pick a fart that'll last you a lifetime. Pick a good one. By 25, you know. By 30, by 30, you should know which fart is your fart. You know, do you want to go with the silent but deadly? Do you want to go with the surprise? Do you want to go with the peekaboo? Do you want to go with the, you know, the underhand? Do you want to go with the midnight rider? Do you want to go with the, you know, rise and shiner? Do you want to go with which one do you want to go with? Do you want to go with the loud and wet? Do you want to go with the soft and wet? Do you want to go with gas and hiss? Do you want to go with buzz and vibrates? Do you want to go with, you know, there's so many variables depending on the, you know, because, and they say that about assholes, that all of them are different. Everybody gets a unique one. No one asshole is the same. They say that, which is incredible. I myself have volunteered to test that, but it's hard to get the ball rolling despite the number of balls on this court, you see? So it takes each and every one of us to pick one fart in your lifetime. Which one is it? Do you want the fast and loose? Do you want the long and faint? It's a tea kettle ready to burst. Which one do you want? Do you want the bubble fart? Do you want the wet, no air, just wet, what is it? Do you want the slight sharp? Is that the fart you're going? But that's the thing, I think we should all choose one, and that should be it, because that way you could be like, you know, because way back in this, it could just be one of those things, and I'm not too much into like identity and stuff, but all I'm saying is like, you know, it's just easier to be like, oh, okay, I know that's like, you know, that's such and such, that's, you know, that's so and so, that's, you know, that's, by the sound of their fart, because back in the day, it used to be like, you're going down a river on a boat and you see certain people with certain tattoos. You're like, that's that dude right there. Farts could be the new tattoos, essentially, is all I'm trying, or, a calling card of sorts, or just a way to communicate to people. All I'm saying is have yours, fixate on it, trap it down, hold it, grip it, master it. And that way, once you're about to arrive, so you toot and fruit, right? That people know that it's Jim's coming. That's Jim. Sup, Jim? Right there. Jim's always right there doing it. And that's how you build trust, really, and community. I think that's how it is. Starts with the little steps. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a sip of this bad boy right here. It's Friday. Hope you're all doing well. I hope it's sunny skies wherever you are, just like here. All right, it's raining here, but I hope it's not raining wherever you're, or maybe you could use a little bit of rain. I hope it fucking rains wherever you are, because you potentially had a little bit of a drought. But I hope you're wet now. I hope it never stops raining for you. Is that what you want? Because I'll wish it for you if that's what you want. I hope you love rain. I hope you get as much of it as possible. I hope you get the most rain. I hope we create some sort of technology to, like a large leaf blower, to gather all the clouds in the sky in one location, have all the clouds rain on top of you for the rest of eternity, or at least till you eventually at a ripe old age of 120, just fade away into whatever else is beyond us. Who knows? But you'll get all the rain if that's what your little heart wishes. I'll wish that for you. But otherwise, I hope you're having sunny days, just like we're having here. It'll be sunny after. Don't worry, it'll come. Different forms of exercises are great, of course, but they say one that stands above all is the Step Master. Revolutionized the game of exercising and fitness. Fitness is important. Fitness. How to fit into things, fitness. I'd like to fit into this corridor, fitness. I'd like to fit into these pants, fitness. I like to fit into this condom, no problem there. I like to fit inside your mouth, fitness. Fitness is, I like to fit in this bathroom. I like to fit in this bathtub. I like to fitness. I like to empty a 2-liter of Coke in my mouth and fit myself into the bottle of Coke that's now empty, fitness. I like to walk into the bank and fit myself into a little vault, fitness. It's important that we talk about health. That's what we're here for, fitness. But the Step Master is one that's beyond all other forms of exercise. It's just a set of steps, and it's like an incline, and it's on a loop. It's a treadmill system. The steps keep going. It works everything: your glutes, your hamstrings, your ass, your asshole, your taint, which is the most important part of your body, by the way. I work everything, but I don't have time to exercise my taint. Guess you're not doing fitness right, son. Guess you're just doing I'll work everything, but I don't have time to stretch my taint. And that's how you start falling apart at 85. And if you just focused a little bit on your taint, man, 110 would have been yours easily. You're just a bicep guy, aren't you? You're just the chest and bicep guy, this guy. This lady's all about the glutes. Forgetting her taint. Stretch it. Do yourself and do your family a favor. Stretch your taint. Ladies and gentlemen, all I'm trying to say is that I do like the Step Master, but I am a little bit, because it's in form of, I'd like to actually see a literal Step Master. I'd like to see the Step Master. I'd like to see the Step Master, the first Step Master. Just a fella walking up to a bunch of steps and just be like, you're gonna, it probably wasn't even steps before the Step Master turned into this beautiful machine that we now call the Step Master. Before that, you had probably the original Step Master, just getting blocks of blocks of wood or concrete or marble stacking it on top of each other, and they call that guy the step master. And he had to walk each level that he added to the step, he had to add another one and walk back down and carry the steps and add it to beautiful. And he developed the first step master ever. But I'd like to see more of that. And he got, at noon for lunch, he'd take a bite out of his ham sandwich and stare at the steps and yell and be like, oh, be more like steps. I'm the step master. I master these steps. And just set a good example for everybody. I like to see more of that. I like to, no, we don't necessarily need a guy that walks in and says, these are good steps to these steps themselves, but I would like us to, every time we were to take a step, I would like some sort of a step master to just whiz on by and be like, good steps, follow through, raise your legs, raise your knees, land on your toes, don't use your heels, or whatever the step master would say. Maybe he'd carry a whip. Maybe he'd carry a little whip. I don't know, just whip the ground and be like, good steps. I'm the step master. The step master is a rod. I'd like to see a step master beside every escalator, I'll tell you that. Staircases, we're looking at a job market that's now quickly being disrupted by tech. And you're like, what about the old jobs? Bring back new jobs. Mix the old with the new. Put a new twist on the old. Twist your nipples, suck on them a little bit. Is it lactating? It doesn't matter. The step master is here in this little hallway. Leads you to the steps right this way, step right up. I'm the step master. Oh, I wonder where the stairway is. Door opens up. Who's there? Step master. And somebody who knows the steps. Somebody who, these are the first steps. Point it out and be like, that's halfway. Point it out and exactly, show you where it is. Right here's the mid step. You're halfway through the steps, right over there, beyond the mid-step, right at the top. It's the top of the steps. And you're like, man, this guy knows a thing or two about a thing or two, specifically steps. Hence the step master. But yeah, now all we get is it's nice to have the tech and just a treadmill and a conveyor belt, doing things. But if we're talking about a step master, I'd like to just see one of those. Gets me going sometimes because I'm a little bit excited about all the tech that's coming in, but I do like to, certain things I do like to see still people doing. But that's just me. Sometimes we'll mix it. We'll mix both. We'll take the new and the old and we'll mix it together. I'm optimistic as always. I'm looking forward to the stepmaster coming back and cracking the whip. Faulty step over there, watch your step. Watch your step. You never hear that anymore. Watch your step. You know who did that? The stepmaster did that. That's right. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's that season where it's spring, it's summertime, and everybody's out there adventuring, getting ready for spring and summer. How to get yourself. I just shaved this morning, which is nice. Shave, clean everything up. Did the annual or quarterly shave, the Manscape, just a buzz. But there's so many other things that you need to prepare for, such as wild adventures out there in the woods. It's camping season. It's cottage season. It's country season. It's getting out there into the wilderness. It's getting in your car and packing all your friends in a car. It's getting a car and packing all your friends and also putting cars inside your friends. And then putting cars inside your friends and then watching your friends put cars inside themselves and then putting a smaller car inside the car that's already inside the car and putting more people in the car. It's basically a Russian doll of cars and friends. But it's nice. But once you get there to the destination, whether it's the African lion safari, your backcountry, your local backcountry, or the swamp, or the marshes, or the Everglades, wherever it may be that you're residing in, or taking the time to relax a little bit, it's always important that you watch out for animals. Every spring, every summer, we hear of incidents. Bear attacks. Bear came and grabbed my baby. Bear came and ate my food. Bear came in the tent and fucked me. Every year. You hear about it. Oh, I was driving in my topless Jeep and a giraffe just put his long neck and snatched my baby up. Snatched my baby, because that's what giraffes do, because they got the long necks. Whether it's an alligator biting your arm off, whether it's a dolphin trying to rape you and your lady mid-ocean, and you're like, we signed up for this, it's mid-ocean rape season with the dolphins. We want the full experience. You'll say that. You're the roll the dice kind of couple. We're just gonna go swim with the dolphins. We're an experimental couple. I hope the dolphin likes it, you'll both say. Probably will. Probably will. But what I'm trying to say is that don't leave it to chance. Just like I've shaved and I'm now ready to get sucked off, be ready to get sucked off by nature. That's the moral of this story. Or protecting yourself against nature. That's the other point of this story, not just getting ready to get sucked off. Although that's always important. Very important you be ready, because you never know when a sucking off opportunity comes about, especially around spring, summer season. Especially when you haven't had sex for about a year now. Especially when you're just like hard as a rock, the slightest change of wind. Especially when you're just, what have we been talking about? The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that it's not about getting hard, it's about staying hard. Attack a baby bear. Attack a lion cub. Reach for the camel toe. Lick it. Gaggle a giraffe. I don't know if that's how they count their units. I don't know if it's it does sound like a gaggle of geese and whatnot does sound like gaggle a goose. Gaggle a giraffes. There you go. You see yourself a jaggle of giraffes? That's a group of giraffes. I'm gonna say it. And I believe it, so it must be true. A jaggle of giraffe is just 7, 8 of them. That's a jaggle. That's a full jaggle. Baker's dozen, the devil's dozen. Jaggle a giraffe, I'm gonna say 10. There's 10, at least, when 10 giraffes is a jaggle. Jaggle of giraffes. Reach onto, climb a tree, get on top of them. Take one of their babies, put it on your back, and then jump in your Jeep, and then ride away into the distance, and then wait a little bit, and then come back and drop it off and be like, psych, to the giraffe, just to let them know what's up. It's late at nighttime. Everybody's passed out near the campsite. It's maybe you and a couple other people that are still up, maybe smoking a joint, maybe just, knocking back a couple of whiskey shots, coke and whiskeys. I don't know what you're doing meth in the woods. You little crackhead, you're doing crack in the woods now. As long as you're happy, I'm happy, I don't care. As long as you do it responsibly, because you could be thriving on crack. Statistically, you probably can't. But I'm not gonna say don't. I'm not gonna say like if you do crack and all of a sudden you start fucking, I don't know, engineering shit, do it. If you're gonna do crack and just like, I don't know, discover things, like you come up with a system of draining the entire ocean while you're on crack, you're like, we could drain the entire ocean. All we need to do is get all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, drill a large hole, plug the hole with a drain, with a little plug for the drain system that you now put at the bottom of the ocean. If you ever wanted to drain the ocean, you could just go ahead and lift the plug, and then boom, there goes the entire ocean. You drain the ocean, and that's what you came up with when you were smoking the cracks. I don't know. Do it. All I'm saying is that this is crack. This is essentially crack. What we're putting out there is essentially crack. You want the good, you guess the good. This is what crack is. This is what it is. The crack of podcasting right here. How did we get here? I don't even know. Please don't do crack. Please don't do crack. But also, again, I'm not the type to tell you what to do, what not to do. Make your own mistakes. Learn from them. Get better. Write a book about how you did crack and then you stopped. Great. What is this? The point is that take initiative. Don't just leave it up to the animals to get on top of you or behind you or under you or come in your tent. Build a tent. Leave the food in the tent. Let the animals go in after them, zip it down. Now it's you and a bunch of wolves. Let's go. Fucking, you know what I mean? Sure, you come out with a few missing limbs, but it's worth it. So are they. Okay, they're probably not, they're wolves. Maybe if it's your first time doing that, maybe go with like a cuter animal, maybe a little piglet, maybe a little, but they're cute, so you're not gonna wanna get into a scrap. So I don't know, pick them wisely, but pick them nonetheless. Pick them nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But that's just a little bit of animal talk, and we're just a bunch of we're just a bunch of filthy animals ourselves, aren't we? And just doing animal talk at this point. I'll say this: it's always, they say children and nature or animals get along really well. You see, there's an understanding that there's a sense of both, just being very in tune with each other, and like they're not like grown-ups, but the benefit that babies get while just rolling down the hill or chilling on a picnic blanket is that they get to be swooped up by large flying birds like eagles and hawks. And that's a damn shame, because I see that babies are having the most fun out of all humans with animals getting swooped up by eagles and larger flying birds, maybe a vulture. I don't know. Maybe I'm pretty sure a vulture is probably around the same size as a hawk or an eagle, or give or take, depending on the age, the sex of them, if they're even having sex. They say a lot of hawks and eagles are not having sex right now, and there's a drop in the population, or maybe that's just humans. I don't know either. Or the point is, ladies and gentlemen, that don't just let the babies have fun, because they're just sitting on that blanket unaware that any minute they could be swooped up by a giant flying bird like a hawk or an eagle and go for the ride of their life. And you're sitting there 27, early 30s, mid 40s, just bought yourself a bike and you just drove off to the countryside and you had yourself a nice picnic, and you're just wondering as to how you got there, and like, man, what an amazing adventure, but still there's so much more to look forward to and all that jazz. And all of a sudden there's a ring going off onto the side. What is that? They're doing construction. Leave that aside. What's your inside telling you? Your inner voice is saying, man, I wish I was swooped up by an eagle right now. Caw, 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 eagle. And you're wishing it and you're contemplating, how can I manifest this? I tell you, I thought about the same thing just the other day, man. And I came up with a revolutionary idea that if we like to get swooped up by eagles or hawks, and they happen to do that every once in a while with babies, let's ask ourselves here together as a collective, plural, what do these conditions all have in common? Getting swooped up by large flying birds like hawks and eagles. What's the common denominator? And I contemplated. I went to the top of the mountain and I knocked on the temple door and I said, "Hey there, anybody in there?" They said, "No, come back next time." Like, this was a long walk. What do you mean? They're like, "The guy that you want to see is not here." I'm like, "All right, fine, I'll leave." Doesn't matter. Did not get to talk to a Buddhist monk, but I did realize that the common denominator here is diapers. Fucking right in front of us, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, diapers. You want to get swooped up by eagles and hawks? Picnic. You. Basket. Some cheese. Some wine. Full-blown adult diapers. Sit in there. Just spread eagle. And make a little bit of baby noise. Goo-goo-gaga. Goo-goo-gaga. While you're sipping on your Chardonnay or rosé or whatever it is you're gulping down. Yeah. Do it. And then wait it out. You're like, how long do I gotta wait? It's kind of like fishing, but in reverse. So you could say this is the reverse porn of getting picked up or souped up by eagles and hawks. It's, you gotta wait for it, essentially, is what I'm trying to tell you. You can't just go in there first time. You're like, oh, I want to get swooped up in 5 minutes. It might take a little bit longer. Again, you're not a full baby. You're pretending to be one, dressed as one. So think about that. If you want to have the advantage of taking flight with a large animal, invest an afternoon, put a pair of adult diapers on, have a picnic, sit in the park, make a couple of baby noises, and hopefully, if everything is right, you'll be flying over downtown by mid-afternoon, man. By mid-afternoon, you're like, what if I fall? But what if you never took the chance to get snatched up by the eagle? What about that one? What about that one? What about not having the pleasure of having an eagle snatch you from your back? What if you don't get to do that? Which one's the, you know? So all I'm saying is it's risk, reward. Risk, it's very simple. Very simple. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining me once again. Where can you find these videos? You can find them on Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. We're dropping on a weekly basis. If you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show, to see it get even bigger, even go beyond the, possibilities, reach even further into space, go into new galaxies, if you want us to create a black hole, check out patreon.com/RobSatry. I want to be able to create a black hole so that I could teleport to this place and that place with you, of course. I want to just basically reverse time travel is what we're trying to do. We're trying to let's start with regular time travel. Very simple. If you want to see a black hole somewhere around here, or maybe here, I'm not quite sure where we're going to play, but nonetheless, if you want to see a black hole and you want to just see everything get sucked into, if you want to see particles collide, baby, we got the starter kit. Let's do it. Particle colliders don't come with starter kits. I hope you realize that. I hope you know, but we could get a kit of sorts started easily. Check out patreon.com/RobSatry. I'll be back here again next week. Have a blast. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Sending good vibes all the way around the world, wherever you are. Again, remember, it's not about getting hard. It's about staying hard and wet. And wet. That one's equally important, if not more. Wetness trumps hardness. I'll say that right here, right now. You've heard it here. You'll probably hear it again next time. Peace out. Get out of here.